go through this. So, any other questions? Get a motion to accept that? Have a motion to, and a second? Roger, chance. Roger makes a second. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Passes. Council report. We tried. We have a motion to accept the second. Second from Amy. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Pass. Okay, now we have the treasurer's report. And to be honest, there was several misprints in that. What church council had to do was simply approve last year's budget with the raises. And
next year.
what?
That's the 2020. We're just the 2020 report.
Oh, fine. Jumped ahead. So, any on
The treasurer's
treasurer's
report.
report? Right. Jumping ahead. So, Corey seconds it. Is there any discussion?
Does the auditing committee look at this, and does the auditing committee look at both this and the future budget, or?
They were looking at both.
Okay.
So, if there's no discussion, all in favor say aye. Opposed? I had a chance, the auditing committee report, I haven't had a chance to see that. If it's even in here.
It's on page 23, bottom of it.
Okay. So let's do accept that. In a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed? Passes. Committee reports.
I move to approve the committee report printed.
Okay. We have a motion to approve the committee reports as printed. We have a second. Any discussion? Yes.
We did this today. It's hard to read all these at the time we have. Usually we have to give it 2 weeks in advance, or at least a week in advance, but, I comment, because of the virus we had a problem. It's really hard to read all these before we...
We can take the time to read them too. So, I understand. I hope we don't want to do it like this. They'll be new, but we did get them all paid, and so. So we go to unfinished business. And I would think the final vote would go into that.
To vote on. And I make a move that we accept the Constitution with changes.
Okay. Yeah, last year we voted on it the first time and passed it. And it's just changing, if I remember right, 3 words.
The thing, so, I don't even remember, but years ago, we voted to adopt a constitution as was written in, or that the Constitution Committee and the Council had approved. And at the meeting, or at the meeting for adopting that Constitution, there was a motion and it was accepted that we would take out part of the Constitution that is required by the Synod, and that was to take out that I think that you had to have a record of contribution in order to be a member of the church, to have your membership active. Submitted it to the Synod, and they said, no, you have to have that in there. So it came back, we had to have a special meeting, and we voted to basically put back that you have to have a record of contribution within the last year to be an active member of the church. So we accepted that at but you have to vote, in order to adopt your constitution, you have to say twice that you are adopting that new constitution. That is what we are voting on now, is to make that second approval, and then we're done with the constitution revision until somebody wants to change it again.
We think people contribution by cash, and it doesn't show up in the record, but we can do that.
And some contribute with time. And in the old way it was written, that didn't give. So we broadened that a little bit, is what we did, the way I remember it. So we still have Frank's motion, correct? Second from Amy. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? And it passes. Any more unfinished business? New business. Mission partner. We did have that all paid for this past year. So I guess we're looking for a motion to stay with the same partners, change the things of that nature. People's thoughts. 22, yes. Okay. A motion to leave the mission partners the same as this past year, same amounts. Second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Mission, or it passes. Okay, now we get to where I was trying about the budget. Misprint budget, and therefore we, as the board, voted to keep the same exact budget as last year. The pay increase. So the pay increase was, we did 80 cents an hour for the pianist and secretary. Custodian, that's what it was. And pastors went up, stayed within Senate guidelines. So,
Do you know, well,
the final number would be? The upward change, I think, is like 2,000 in total.
But back in doing the books, we're actually saving.
True.
With Becky doing the books, we're actually probably a little below what, last year's budget was. So there's a saving there. So.
Yep. And seems to me like it should be around 129, but I don't have last year's in front of me. We cut out the expense of the hired accountant. Probably going to end up saving us, I don't know, probably $1,000. So Or more.
I think maybe more. So it should be a wash really from what last. So.
I saved you about $1,500 this year. I only worked about half my hours this year. So if the pandemic continues, I don't have to do the kitchen and the fellowship halls frequently.
Yeah.
And with your people here, it's a lot quicker to clean. It's the fly problem that takes time. That's when the flies start coming down. So yes, I am going to miss a few flies here. And I haven't gotten into the library as frequently, I guess, as I should have with some. But yeah, I'm just working whatever I need to work, not because these are my hours or whatever.
I knew that. Yeah. Very good.
I'm just saying, if you're concerned.
No, and
And we don't get that much too, so. That's not as a lot of people do. So I felt it was part of my duty too.
Thank you.
right. It's a question, if you're willing to approve the budget we did a year ago, the raises. And as soon as we get that together, I will email it out. So, yes, Frank?
I think the Smith Cemetery is in here. I don't think that's added total. It's a separate bank, but it's good to show what you have in there, but it's not, should be totaled up with the rest of the,
I saw that this morning too,
okay.
so that is true. Part of the reason this isn't quite right is it's the first time that Becky's done this, so there's some things like that were missed. So. Okay, I got a motion and a second to adopt last year's with the raises that was approved. Is there any more discussion?
I just thought maybe next year we could add to the food, add to the food pantry. There's so much need there now than ever before.
And actually, they get a lot more money than what we list from the church, because we will give what is, I think, $500. Well, when we have these different fund drives, people will put in that they want their check to go to that. So like this past year, I think we gave them 900, but our pledge was only 5. We're actually giving them more than that. Yeah. Yep. So that's the only one that is above and beyond that. But there's some people, will be drive for the Outlet Ranch where they write a check for the food pantry. When they write a direct check, we have to give it to the food pantry. It's been our decision as council. So. Any other discussion? That's right, I had to think. In favor of approving last year's budget, say aye. All opposed? Budget passes. And votes. Nominate.
Nominate Leif Garrett for the council.
Okay. So this year on council, we have 2 people going off, Glenn Reeser and Joan Howard. And don't need to vote on it, though. I mean, it's on the council, but I mean, for your nomination, we don't. Yeah. So we got 2 people for council this year, Amy Simpson and Leif Garrett. So being we have 2, I would think a motion to approve both, correct?
Whatever works.
Right. Both Amy and Leif to go on council. Second.
Motion again, so we're official.
Nomination cease and the secretary cast a unanimous ballot for Leif and Amy. Church council.
Very good. Any discussion? Say aye. All opposed? Motion passes. So immediately after the meeting, we'll have all the new council members come up here and meet. Just. Cemetery board wants to meet too?
No, I'd like to
Oh.
nominate Cory Bossert to serve. Would nominate Cory Bossert to serve on the cemetery board.
Oh, we're quite down there. Is there any other nominations for cemetery board? Corey, you accept? Um, All in favor, or any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye. All opposed? He is in. No one. It was just a nomination. I don't need a second. So, could certainly, the only other property management, I have two people going off. Ron Sire has said he would continue. So is anyone else? Because Dwayne doesn't want to do it anymore. Okay, that works for me. I mean, just go fishing. Okay.
And then worship and evangelism, I guess we didn't, we asked Joan and she said she'd stay on, right? Or she would be on the committee because she was the liaison from the council.
Yeah. I'm sure she said she'd stay too.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So.
Wait.
Okay.
So Bertie will be staying on stewardship.
Okay. So, how about a motion to put Joan on?
I nominate Joan Howard to be on the worship and evangelism.
Any other nominations? All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passed. What's that? Sandy. Property Management, Steward, and Health Ministry. I would think you could make a motion that everybody stay. Corey? Do we? Second. Sorry. Use more.
The stewardship health is down to 3 people instead of 5.
Okay.
All I think could use people. They'd be happy to have more help.
So if anybody's got some extra time, there's committees that could use some help. Any discussion on the members staying on? None, everybody in favor say aye. Opposed? So the
Doesn't their report say that everybody?
Oh, it does?
Or is that somebody else?
Members have agreed to continue their service throughout the upcoming 2021 year for Parish Ed.
Okay.
It says in the report. Yeah. That's so.
So let's get a motion for that. Parish Ed to continue.
So moved?
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye. Passed. So the share and serve, that's just listed for everybody to see, right? Do they appoint their own elected chair? So they another year.
Okay, so, yeah, I was wondering about that because it has Shar as the person that would, Charlotte going in this
True.
group one, but she's moved. So you guys are just going to stay there now?
Gonna Okay. All right. So I'm gonna. We're gonna back up to page 10. And on there is the inactive list. And other than Hartley staying on the active list, I think everybody should read through that little time. Probably need a motion to approve that. We added some names this year.
And if there's any that's on this that you disagree, just speak.
Yeah, yeah, if you don't agree, we'll say something and,
It doesn't mean we're off the membership list, it just means we don't need to count as far as getting a quorum. We keep on the active list for a year, or 2 years, or 5 years, if you wanted to, so.
right.
It's just mainly to help us get a quorum legal when we get back to normal, so. They'll be on the inactive.
They'll still, there's someone that, for example, if there's someone that's been active, we didn't recognize, they should go off this and back onto the active list.
Well, the Hunsaker family, Pastor Hunsaker, is there some rule about what church you can attend once you retire?
For
Is
so,
it appropriate for that family to be on the inactive list? I don't know.
Because I asked him, we were needing a pastor, I asked him about a pastor. The bishop, he said, would frown on it. I asked him about serving just one Sunday here, and he said the bishop would frown on it, so I don't think they're ever gonna be able to be members as far as the synod's concerned. I don't know.
I was thinking somebody said after 7 years like that.
That's
to
possible. Not here, though, not here.
Right.
What they frown on is if a pastor coming to
3 years?
Yes. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there's a certain time frame. He can come back as a member. He can come as a member.
On the inactive list, we can take them off. That they shouldn't be on the inactive, we can take them off, so.
The active list.
Off completely.
Yeah. Inactive, or
They're
do we just?
going to Lord of Lords. So
They-
they asked to be taken off our list.
Have they officially transferred their membership to that other church, which would make for us to say they shouldn't be on the
Right,
list?
right. Good point, Amy.
She said, Betty said that they joined the church. No, she said that they don't really want to yet. I don't.
And it doesn't hurt to leave them on this. It doesn't hurt us to leave them there. And if someday they want to transfer to another church, we still got their stuff and we can transfer it.
Yeah.
So,
At least one or two pastors have, they can come.
Right.
I don't, is it just one? Okay.
yeah, I did the same thing.
I guess is the Ladner's last name is spelled wrong. Should be Ladner, not Lander. At the bottom of the first column, Bobby and Trish, it should be Ladner.
I don't know, I see a lot of people still looking, so I don't know if they've got through everything yet or not. I just kind of just want. Yes, we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was going to say those coffee that we people active. I was send or deliver the bags to, and they were very appreciative of them. So it's not that we've just put them on a list and they're getting forgotten or anything. We've been touching base with them. If you see people on this list that you feel comfortable, everything to do, that's the way we will get them to start coming back to the church. I understand it's difficult now with how we're meeting and the lack of being able to fellowship and everything. Phone call, that's all we can ask, and keep them in your prayers.
Yeah, I agree with Cheryl about people. When I had some time, I've called some of them, and they were very appreciative. And you don't need to be a long, drawn-out conversation. You can just say, how are you doing? Is there anything I could do to help you? And, you know, sometimes they want to talk more, and sometimes they want to talk less. But I think that's a way to stay in touch, you know, with people who are comfortable getting out and coming to church, so.
So if everybody's gotten through the list and there's no more questions, entertain a motion to move these to the inactive. I have a motion and a second to move these names to the inactive list. Is there questions? Discussion.
We'll take Karen and Jaquel Hartley.
Karen and Jaquel will be on this list. No. Say aye. All opposed? Motion. That is all the things we have to nominate, I believe. Senate Assembly Delegate. That's what I was thinking, the first week.
I'm thinking that it is the first weekend of June. That's the 4th and the 5th of June. But I think we're not sure exactly how it's going to be yet, what the plan exactly is going to be. So there's some things still up in the air.
So I throw out there that if they're going to have it in person, anyone that would like to attend should come to council and let us know. Resolution. Resolution for St. John's Church, January 17th, 2021, for the annual meeting. Whereas the members and friends of St. John's Lutheran Church who deserve thanks has grown so long as to be cumbersome, and where listing names of persons to be thanked brings the likelihood of leaving out persons equally deserving credit, and whereas many people, both paid and volunteer in official and unofficial capacity, publicly behind the scenes, have served faithfully, given generously, loved unconditionally, and shared the light of Christ in a multitude of ways. Therefore, be it resolved that we show our gratitude to these brothers and sisters in Christ, giving to a hearty applause. Before adjournment, I'm going to ask if there's anything else. If there's anything else? So,
Do something good for someone.
keep sneaking that in your ear. Sneaking that in your ear.
I know it. I was, maybe, I don't know if I put it in this paperwork, but we would have a fundraiser, raise some money for, a family that may need something, or keep their heart and say, because, like Christmas in the Hills, if we can get a booth, that place is, you can make money.
We can talk about that again later. Think about it.
Yes, we'll think about it.
Yes, any,
That was a fun event, and that was a lot of participation from the congregation, and I enjoyed doing most of the work. But no, it was a fun, and it's a good moneymaker for the church, so we may look into that for next fall.
Right.
Down, if the world has changed back to a little normal by then.
I think we're all very open to fundraisers once it gets open. Yes.
I guess one thing I would say is we're all really looking forward to things getting back to normal. It's going to take some more patience, though. I think it's going to take a while. So we might not be able to do that kind of fundraiser this coming year. We're honest, creative ways to do something. If a need does arise that we see some in our congregation or in the community that we really want, we don't have to be selling baked potatoes at the that it doesn't happen. Just, you know, come to worship and evangelism or counsel with ideas, and I think there's a lot of willing souls to help out if you know, if the needs arise.
Yes.
And just a note, a reminder, a simple way that we do sort of raise funds that we use to help people is by keeping your receipts from Lynn's Dakota Mart. The committee cashes those in, and then we decide, and we have these after funds and things like that with that. So it's a really simple thing, just a reminder you can do that to help people too.
Thank you. There's nothing else. We will stand and adjourn with the Lord's Prayer.
Heaven.
So whoever's on church council, come see me.